Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me? So people who are joining online, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So let us start tonight, and as usual, okay. So let us see our schedule. Give me a second. Okay, so this is 13:1. Okay, some important announcements. First of all, so you see that we have completed. So this is fifth week, right? This is the fifth week. Okay, but meanwhile we have almost completed this content. Okay, so and then your test 1 is moved to February 23rd. So okay, the test will be online, and you can take it from home or any quiet place, and you need to have good internet connection and your what is that called, a webcam, and you will take the test. You will see the test in D12 quizzes section. Okay, so if you go to your D12 and then in the quizzes section, you will see your test here. But before you take your test, you must complete this one, respondent setup quiz for online test. This will take you a few minutes, just 15 minutes. Please take it while during daytime while the KSU UITS office is open. In case you need any help, they will guide you. Okay. So please complete it by this weekend. In case you need help, then you may need to go bring your computer, laptop over there. Okay, I cannot help you to fix your laptop. Okay, so before take your test, you need to complete this one. So it will just guide you how to install a lockdown browser, a software. That's it. And earlier, I found a few students have problem in installing this. They in their MacBooks, especially 2 or 3 students with MacBook, and then some student they use company or someone else laptop. They do not have privilege to install. Okay, in that case, you may face an issue that you need to contact UITS. Okay, and so our next module will be module 4, graphical user UI programming, user interface programming. So in the next week we'll discuss that. But this week, actually we have completed. I have gone through all of these contents. So especially for this course, we have completed object-oriented. Okay, and we discuss inheritance, and we found some good features of inheritance. Reusability is one of the advanced features of inheritance, and we discuss there are some limitations of inheritance. For instance, traditional inheritance, it does not allow to ensure that the inherited properties will be used by the children classes. So in order to ensure that we learn that how to use the concept of abstract class and interface. Okay, there is another limitation that a class in Java and C# inheritance does not allow to have multiple parents. Okay, multiple subclasses, multiple base classes. So, but that problem is resolved by using interface. Multiple interfaces can be inherited. Okay, we learned that this distance between an abstract class and an interface, right? An abstract class is 0 to 100% abstract, but an interface is 100% abstract. All methods in an abstract, in an interface, are abstract. But in an abstract class, you may not have any method abstract. All the method may be non-abstract, or all the method can be abstract. If in a class has at least one method abstract, then the class must be declared as an abstract class. So what is an abstract method? A method that just declares the signature, its header line. It does not contain any implementation or body. That is called an abstract method. A class that contains an abstract method is called an abstract class, right? So what is the limitation of abstract class? An abstract class cannot be instantiated. An abstract class cannot be used to create an object, right? So has anyone any question? And then previously we discussed static modifier, reference parameter, and collections. Okay, so then we discussed array list, and I added some maybe one videos from previous semester array list video. Okay, so I think I did I do rush? I am a little bit ahead than others, maybe other sections. So I believe I completed almost everything in module 3. So in our last lecture, we discussed typecasting and polymorphism, right? There are two types of polymorphism. Polymorphism means poly means many, morphism means form. So an abstract, an object can perform many roles, different kinds of roles in different perspectives. Or we can say that another way, a method can have multiple signatures. Okay, that is called method overloading, right? A method can have multiple declaration with the same name but different number or different types of argument. That concept is called method overloading. Okay, and in a method overloading, it happens within a single class. Okay, and then we discuss method overriding, right? Method overriding happens within parent class and a child class. That means a child class, if a child class wants a different implementation of a method than its parent class, then we override this method. So in C#, we declare that method as virtual method in the base class. Okay, and so that process is called method overriding. In C#, we use override keywords, and in Java we use override annotation. Okay, so in our last lecture we also discussed typecasting. Okay, so I think today's lecture will be short, an hour should be fine. Okay, we have an hour, maybe less than an hour should be fine. Today what I want to do, I want to review mainly object-oriented programming principles from starting to begin end. Okay, so still this week, today's lecture and an upcoming lecture, still we can review, or if you have any question, then I can answer. So before I do that, let us let me hear your opinion. So what do you think? So how do you feel this course right now? Are you learning something new? Are you feeling interested? What do you think? Kind of? Okay. What do you think? What do you think? How do you feel this course? Yes. How do you like? I like to hear everybody's voice. Yes. Yeah, please be honest, be frank, okay? If you do not like it, tell me. Then if you find that if you expected that something different or better from me, please tell me. Maybe I'm telling that maybe I am going ahead or fast, maybe, right? The reason is that actually I know everything. As I told you at the beginning of this course, right? I could discuss everything in one lecture, in one continuous lecture, if my university and my allows, right? But that will not be helpful for you, right? So what do you think? Am I going too fast? Yes. Actually, honestly, this course is practice oriented, heavily practice oriented, right? I can tell you the concept in an hour, but it need you 10 more than 10 hours to practice those concepts. I cannot practice for you, right? Can I do that? Yeah, that's good. So when you get stuck, do some research. There are tons of online resources, right? You can try help from there, and then if not, go to the tutoring center and ask your help from there. We have tutors and we have our GTAs, and then on top of this, I'm there. Okay. But did I tell you a story that we are fish? Did I tell you a story that we are fish? Oh, then I missed an important story, okay? Funny story. So, is there anybody here did not see how to do fishing? I asked, did not see even how to do fishing. So, people who are online, is anyone here that even did not see how to do fishing? How people catch fish, like fishermen, or even we sometimes we do fish. Yeah, everybody has. You have to catch fish, right? Yes, that means in order to get help from us, our GTS from us, you need to catch us. We will not come to you, right? We will not come to your door or your door, right, to help you. Even it is true, right? The many moms they do not feed their kids. Even the kids do until the kids do not cry, right? It is something. So that another thing is that I told you that at the beginning in this course I will teach you how to walk on the field of object-oriented programming, right? So what do you think? Did I teach you that? Still doubt? Now it is your part how to run. Then practice, okay? I have listed that maybe I shared all of my programs. Source code are there. We have our plenty of free online book, and then we have good PowerPoint slides. So we started this about 3 years ago. So 3 years ago we had slides. Now we have slides. Our slides, current slides, are way better than our previous year slides, previous semester slides. So now you have good resources. But one thing just you need to practice. And lab, okay, lab thing. So it's honestly that we are making our lab stuffs harder and harder and harder semester to semester, so that you can learn. Otherwise, the problem is that many students, I'm not meaning you, many students they get lab content from previous semester and then copy and they paste. So our goal is to help you, right? Ultimately, maybe currently you may dislike me, you will not like me, that teacher are they are giving me a hard time, but ultimately our goal is to prepare you, to help you, really. It is not my intention to give you hard time or nothing. There is some reason, okay? Maybe as a student we do not realize it sometimes, right? We think that why teachers are giving so much pressure to us, right? Just to prepare you. We want that our program will be like nationwide famous and good, better, right? So you know that our FYE program is better and is nationwide. It is maybe rank in within top 10. I heard last year. And I hear that is better. Still, it's going better and better. So it is a huge impact. So we are many people working continuously to make it better. Okay, so what do you like me to do tonight's class? To review? What? So please tell me the topic that you like me to do.
Yeah. Can you just review just the recent object-oriented programming stuff?
Okay. One more thing that I'm getting some issue from for downloading my recorded video from my home. So this weekend I could not download the recorded video from my home, and so I did it today. So if you go to my recorded lecture, so here, this one, right, 1320 section, this one. So I have uploaded a lecture 8 is the last lecture, and then 8 is last Thursday, right? Yes, and this lecture 7 is a week ago. Okay, so maybe lecture 6 and 7, these were not uploaded current year on time, so I'm late to upload this. So last week I could not come to office, so I could not download this from home. I'm facing some issue from home to download this. So I like you, what do you do? So you see that these videos are, how many videos? We have 8, right? So total 8, within 8 lectures, we covered object-oriented programming. Maybe 5 lectures for object-oriented programming, starting from class, declaring class, and then inheritance, abstract class, interface, polymorphism. So I think this will be your good source. So please, okay, keep this page as a bookmark, and then whenever you have some time, okay, watch this video, please. Every time you watch, you notice that you are learning something new at least. And every time you do some practice, you see that you will learn something new. Even I do. Sometimes I forget something. Then when I do even teach, I practice, then I look at a video, I recall something. This is a human nature, right? People forget and then recall. Okay, so where do I start from here? So someone asked me to review recent OOP content. So what do you mean by recent object-oriented programming content? Actually, I mean, okay, another thing is that in the our D2L, okay, I added another hey folks, our another professor's YouTube channel. Okay, so this one, so he is a native US speaker. So if you find issue in understanding my English, so you can watch his recorded video, his lecture video. Okay, so I added his Professor Enda Sullivan's. You can subscribe his channel, and then he teaches an online section, and whenever he uploads a video, you can watch these similar videos. Okay, and at this time there are tons of YouTube videos online, right? So there are many resources you can. Okay. So if I want to review from the beginning class, okay, so then I would start from class. So human student is called our start class. Okay. I'm here. I have abstract class. This is like fall 2020 test 2B Java and C Sharp maybe. Okay, so let me review a test question, a problem from our previous semester's test. Oh, so I'm logged in as guest. Preference. Okay, this is why I'm facing issue. Let me give me 1 second, please. Do you have Wi-Fi here? You have Wi-Fi? Wi-Fi connection here? I'm sorry. I don't see. Internet connection. What's wrong? So people who are online, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, but I cannot open this page. what is wrong? Okay, this side is available. Okay, now it should work. Okay, now it should work. Okay, so if I want to start object-oriented programming, then I would start from a class, right? From a class declaration. So what is a class? Okay, I just want to hear from you today. What is a class? Give me a formal definition of a class.
A custom user-defined data type.
Yes, thank you. That okay, expand it. What are the elements of a class? Yes, some attributes and what? Methods. Okay. Attributes and functions. Functions are called methods, right? So in this class, the class name is furniture, and then it has attributes, name, price, and then is good. Okay, so as the attributes, this infer, name should be string type, price should be integer or float type or double type, right? And then is good should be Boolean type. That's it. Okay, so while we declare a class, we can initialize its value. For instance, name equal to chair or name equal to table. Then all of the furniture object created from this class will have that values, but we do not do that. We usually just declare the variable here. We do not give any value here. So value will be provided when we actually create an instance of this class. By the way, by the word create, actually it seems to me actually not creating, it's virtually creating. It's fake word, okay? Only in my understanding, I may be wrong, in my understanding, only God can create something. God create animal, God create human being, right? As a that is called creation, right? And human being we may redesign or remodel, right, or develop, right? So that's, but we use the term create, don't mislead that we are creating an actual animal. Whenever we have an animal human class, and then when we create an instance of human class, don't mislead that we are creating a human. Only God can create a human. We create an instance that behaves more likely as a human. Okay, so what are the behaviors? The behaviors that we define here and here. Behaviors are functions, okay, and these are the attributes. Whenever we will create an actual furniture object, we will give there its name, we will set up its price, and we will set up its condition, whether it is good or not. Okay, then, and this is there is a method. What is this method is called? Constructor, right? Okay, a class, every class, all classes contains these constructors, default constructor. You may call it an empty constructor. It is empty, but internally it contains this thing. Actually, it contains this thing. Name equal to is contain this thing. Name equal to empty. Okay, then price equal to what is the, why it is empty? Because Boolean string type is default value is either empty or you can say null. String type either empty or null, and price is integer variable, its default value is 0. Okay, and then is good equal to is Boolean. What is the default value of Boolean? Data type false. False. So actually this constructor contains this by default. You can use this, declare this, or by default this. Okay. So if you are asked a question that declare a constructor that defines, that contains default values, so then this is just this part. It's very simple because it has this default parts. Okay, you understand? Has any doubt? You can try. You can see. You can check. How can we check? Whenever we create an object using the constructor, we can print that value. What is name, what is price, and what is good value? You will see that this. Okay, so a class can have okay, what is a constructor? A constructor is a method that is used to construct an object, to create an object and initialize its values. So whose values initialize? These values. Values for name, price, and is good. Okay. So this is called default constructor. That means any object created with this constructor will have all these values. Then later we need to change these values, right? We don't like that all of our object will have same value, same name, same price, same maybe it's first. So if you are machinery tools, you are developing building some tools, right? All you will have same price, same brand, maybe same model, or everything is good, right? But sometimes we need to change it. We can change in different ways using dot operator or using other constructors. So that constructor, that argumented constructor. So this is default constructor that does not take any argument. And this is argumented constructor, right? So it has parameters or arguments. Okay. By the way, so what is the way to know that this is a constructor? Like a constructor has exactly same name of its class name. Sorry. Yes, you are correct. A constructor cannot return a value. Never. Even it cannot have a void return type. So even now, if I say void, then this is a method, but this is not a constructor. Another method, okay? So the word, if I say furniture if in lowercase, I may give any name, right? So it's a lowercase, then this is not a constructor. It is not a constructor. In order to be a constructor, it has to be exactly same name of its class name, and it is case sensitive. And it cannot have a return type, even void. Okay, it cannot have this. So this is a regular method, okay, not a constructor. So in order to make it constructor, we need to change this name, exactly same name of its class name. Okay, so this constructor, it has parameters. So then what are the parameters? Name, price, and is good. All of these are identical to these attributes, right? So in order to assign this, whenever we have some parameters that are identical with the same name, exactly same names of class field name, then what do we need to do? We need to use this operator. This dot name equal to name, this dot price equal to price, this dot is good equal to is good. We need to use this. Otherwise, if you say name equal to name, your compiler will make an error. In some compiler, it will show an error message. Some compiler will show a warning message, and some compiler may not show anything. So here it is showing a warning. So green underline means warning. Okay, that means compiler is confusing which name is this. There are two names, right? One is a local variable, another is argument. In order to ensure that each object gets its own name, we need to use this. But we can avoid this if we declare this variable in a different argument as a different name. For instance, we say name and in uppercase, right? This language is case sensitive, right? Java and C# is case sensitive. So you can say name and in uppercase name, and then it's fine. We do not need to have this. For programmer, they usually what they do, they will give same name, but they will use this keyword. Okay, this keyword has some other uses. Another is that is used to call its own constructor. So I will maybe discuss like this. If we call this like as a method, it will call its own constructor. Okay, so and so everybody understand why do we use this? Has anyone any confusion? Give me 1 second, please. Sorry, I got an emergency call. Okay. Okay, so we are discussing this, right? So we will see that this is used to call its own constructor, and beyond this there is another keyword is called super. Super is used for calling, like there is super method. If you call super, it will call its parent class constructor. If there are multiple labels of parent classes, then super can call only the upper level, only parent level. It cannot call grandparent level. Okay, so now you understand this. Huh? Okay, has anyone any doubt? Why do you write like this kind of code? I will discuss super in a different program. Maybe, okay, so that's by the way it's related. Maybe I will discuss in a different program. Okay, since this program does not say inheritance, it is normal class. Okay, so here, so I'm asking, so you understand constructor clearly? Okay, so now we have our two constructors, right? So this is default constructor and this is argumented constructor. So if a class have a method multiple times, so the method must be different in terms of the either number of the parameters or type of the parameters. So here there is no parameter, right? But here there are 3 parameters, right? You may have multiple constructors like with different number or different types of arguments. Okay, so now let us see in the main method, in our main method, if we call, for instance, furniture F1 equal to new furniture, so we are giving chair its name, because you see that whenever we see this constructor, we have this constructor has first parameter as name, second parameter price, and third parameter is good. So whenever we call this method, we have to provide three parameters, right? One for name and for price, another for is good, right? So the name must be string type, this must be integer or compatible to integer. The compatible to integer means it can be a short type, it can be a byte type, it can be an integer type, or in some cases it can be character type, character range, within range, okay? And it must be, third value must be boolean, so that is here. So chair, the value, so string, we need to put it double quoted. Okay, so we can say leather chair, so that we can use space, and then is value 350, and then is true. Okay, and then we may say that this is table, and 600, and false. We cannot use $sign over here or pound sign here. Now if we print F1 like this, F1 and F2, then what will happen? In order to print this, actually we need this. So if we print this right now, so what is this? What are these? They're printing. Can anyone please tell me why I'm getting this output? Yes. Yes. So actually, instead of printing this object like this way, it is printing this object's memory location. So it is saying that furniture, this is class name, add, this object is a furniture object and it is located in this memory location. This is a hexadecimal number, right? Memory location. Okay, so but we did not actually want this. We wanted like this. For instance, if I have a normal variable int x equal to 10, I wanted to say see system dot out dot print ln or print, for instance, x equal to plus x, right? I wanted to, so if I print this, I wanted to see that it would print me x equal to 10, right? So here x will be printed as 10. My computer is dying. Okay, so it is printing x equal to 10. So it is, so x is a variable, primitive type data type variable, right? So it will be printed automatically without any problem. But here f1 and f2, even you give their name x1 x2, that doesn't matter. If you give x1 and x2, still this will not be printed. Okay, name is not a matter here. The matter is here, how do we want to display them? So in order to display it in our meaningful way, not like this way, we need, there is a method, it is called toString method. Okay, we need to have this toString method within this class. Okay, sorry, within this furniture class, within this class. So it's class furniture class. Since this object is furniture object, so furniture class must declare that's toString method. It start with line number 16 and it ends line number 46. Anywhere in between, I need to have this code. This is the code for toString method. Okay. So, in your test, if you are asked a question to write override the toString method. In the past, we saw that some student they wrote like this. Some student they wrote our public override void system dot out dot and okay. So if for instance, if you write this way, okay. So actually this is the format of toString method. ToString method, it returns, it is public method and it returns a string. Okay, so here we know that something will return a string if it gets the first thing as a string. Then this is things first thing is a string, everything will become a string, right? So this will ultimately this will be a single string and we are returning whole thing together. Or we could say like this way, string s or something equal to this and return s, then it is fine. Still it is returning something. Okay, this model or two models are fine, but this is not a good way. So that what you are doing, you instead of you are returning a string, you are printing a string. So if I have this, okay, I will discuss this later. Let me have the real good one, okay, standard one. So if I have this toString method, then what we will do, I will be able to display this x1 x2 as like i3 I displays, say if I say x3 as a regular variable. So here the toString method will do, it will print however I like. So I will have a name, then space, colon, then space. After that it will say name, and then it will have, so then space, then price, then colon, then space, and then it will print price. So here, and after that there is a space, and there is good, colon, space, and is good value. Okay, so this is the standard toString method. Okay, instead of writing these two lines, you could write in one single line. For instance, you can say instead of doing this, you can say return this all in one line. It will work. I have a mistake. I get another doubt. Yes. Okay. So okay, done, right? So you can do either this way or this way. Okay, but if you have this way, for instance, if you have your toString method this way, so let us see what will happen. So here we have already print method, right? So here then let us see that what will happen if we do this. Why it is slow? Okay, it is showing an error, right? Okay, let us see the error. What says the error? toString is a function cannot override toString in object. That means this toString. Okay, so this is means overriding. Then in that case, what do you need to do? Actually, you need to call just x1, just x1, or just x2. Println. Okay, just x1 and x2. We need to call this way. Oh, sorry. You need to. This is not a toString method, so you need to call this one x1 dot toString. You need to call this way. You need to explicitly call this method. Since this is not a standard toString method, you need to explicitly call this toString method. Still it is error? No. I'm not sure why it is slow. Return type is void, is not applicable with the toString method. Public void toString. Return type is what is wrong? Actually, I cannot have override. Is this the error coming from? Okay, so return type is void, is not compatible with string. Okay, so I think the problem is coming. What is the error? Okay, so actually what happened, so whenever I give toString 2 in lowercase, it was looking for the prototype for the standard toString method. Okay, so this is why I cannot give exactly same name. Okay, so in this way, so as you know that, so if you give it a toString like this way, it does not work, right? The compiler mass for the traditional standard toString method. Okay, so that means maybe you could give underscore to us underscore string should work. I believe to underscore string should work. To underscore string, it should work. So, but this is not a standard toString method, I'm telling you. So in order to be a toString method, you must have this standard format. Okay, you must have this standard format, and so that it is called implicitly. We do not need to call this by this way. Okay, so if we do not give standard definition, right? So then what we will do, we need to call this, right? But if we have standard definition of toString method, if we have standard definition of toString method, then we do not need to call it this. It will be called automatically. Compiler will get it, and then it will use this automatically. Okay, now what another thing is that, so here we use our overloaded constructor to provide value name for this and this, okay? But what we can do, we can change this name. Okay, if they are, say, these are public, so as long as these are public, right? So I can, so this is another one class, and this is another class. From another class, I can change this. For instance, I can say x2 dot name equal to round table. So if I say this, okay, and x2 dot is good equal to true. So then what values will be printed? These values will be printed. Okay, so that means if I have I'm sorry, this is private. Okay, one thing we got is good is private. So I cannot change this way, but name is public, so then it is fine. Name will be changed. Okay, so that way if some attribute is public, then it can be changed using dot operator. So there is a risk of data manipulation from one class by another class, right? Hacker can use this. So that in order to protect some class attributes, we need to make them private so that we cannot use these way. And then if I make them private, then what we do, we declare getter method and setter method. So this is the setter method. Okay, so name, setter method is a name, just whatever name you give. So if I say is good, okay, or so compiler automatically takes, so set is good, then camel case, and then it takes a setter method, it takes a boolean argument of the same type that you are using for. Boolean is good, and then it set up this dot is good equal to is good. And then getter method, it returns a value. So then it says return is good. So my question is that where this is good is coming from? Does it has only is good? Where this is good? So it has is good here, right? In the setter method. But where this is good coming from? Yes, it is within class, right? So it's getting the so this method is declared within class. So it has access to all methods, right? Okay. So is good is returns a is value. Now if I have setter and getter method, then I can use s2 dot set. So let me see. if I say is2 dot set is good, and then this method takes an argument, Boolean type. So here I will say true. Then here. Okay, now let us try to print it. Do you think it will be printed? Is there any issue? What do you think? Quickly think about quickly, so before it's it. Will this work? Okay, so then you said is good is equal to true, right? We said round table price, and then is good is equal to true, right? It is working here, right? So we use setter method to set or change the value, but this setter method is a public method here. Okay. Also, maybe let me try if I can say get is good. So here I can say is good equal to good, but traditional way is to use the getter method. So getter method, it returns a value. This getter method is returns a value, so I'm using this one, calling this method, and this method will return is good value. But since they are within class, so this will get is good, will get is good directly. So the process of using of declaring some field as private is called data hiding, right? Data hiding, that means I'm making private this field private so that outside class, any outside class cannot directly access this private attribute. So how the private attributes are used? Through their getter and setter method, right? But I told you a story that when you came to KSU first time for your admission, you have to provide your ID, right? Social security card, driver license, right? You usually will not show your social security card to anyone else, right? That whenever you go to a bank in order to make a bank account, or some places, right? Some service, you need to show your social security number, disclose it, but you are disclosing your private attributes in a secret manner or confident manner, right? So that we know that this person is confident, this person is reliable person. So the process is that on an object, all data are kept together. So for instance, you cannot access a like x1 object value by using x2 object, right? Whenever you say x1 dot name, it will print you x1 object's name. It will not print you x2 object's name. That means all in object-oriented programming, data and methods are for an object are kept together. That is called data encapsulation. So x1 object does not have access to x2 objects. For instance, when you know your transcript, right? You can access your transcript, right? You know your class grade, right? Unless you share with your friend should not be able to see your grade, right? Okay. If you share, then fine, right? If you share, then fine, you will get it. But unless you do not share, then nobody will see it, right? So Same thing, that means your data is encapsulated with you and his data is encapsulated with him. This is the feature of object-oriented programming. Okay, so and maybe today we discuss just class and object, right? Okay, so then let me see our schedule. How do we have? Okay, still we have next week. 1 week is fine for object-oriented programming. Okay, so let us do this week. We will continue object-oriented programming, especially in our next lecture. Next lecture, I want to do abstract class, review abstract class, interface, polymorphism, and typecasting. Okay, but I have a request to everybody. So before you come to our next lecture, please watch our last 2 lecture videos. Okay, so last 2 or 3 lecture videos, please review these 3 lectures videos. Okay, so 6, 7, and 8. Good evening, everybody. So if you miss this lecture and if you think that you need to recap it, even if you think that you did not understand this well, so please watch this lecture video again one more time before you come to our next lecture. So having this like videos on YouTube, I see that there is an advantage. If you need to recap, right, you can go back quickly, right? And if you think that I am speaking too fast, you can make it slow, right? You can change your speed. You can change what is that called? Okay, I can maybe subtitle in English. Okay. You can change playback speed. You can make it faster or slower. Okay, so and then whenever you have some time, you can do this. Okay, so this one will be really helpful. So if you please if you practice this, if you have good understanding in object-oriented programming, the remaining part of this course is easy. We have covered 40% of this course content. But these are the foundation. So you will not get any other course that will teach you object-oriented programming. So if you next course will be data structure course, or so when you take a data structure course or database course or algorithm course, you will be assumed that you know this. No professor will teach this. That doesn't mean that other professors do not know this. These professors know this very well, but they will never teach this. They will never review this. This is why, how many of you here have computer science goal to be major? 1, 2, 2. So in computer science or software engineering or game development, any course you take, this is the foundation of object-oriented programming. And do you think that it is an interesting thing? Interesting programming concept? You think that? I'm asking, are you getting interest in it? Huh? Possible? I understand what you're doing. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so actually all modern programming languages and all modern software are developed with this concept. So the next course, one of the other course I like you, so maybe in summer, you can learn yourself that is called AngularJS. See, you know Udemy? Udemy? You're not familiar with Udemy? Udemy.com. Okay, this is a good website. So they have like, oh, so they sometimes they sell course $10 or even $9.99 or $15. Okay, like complete course. This it has complete course. It will teach you from the beginning to ending to make a to develop a complete application. all applications are now web-based application. Okay, so next time when you have some time, you can learn so like what is that called, AngularJS. AngularJS. Okay, so Angular 5, 6, 7, whatever is say that Angular. So AngularJS means Angular JavaScript. There is a framework. It will create a, it will help you to create an entire complete course. So in academia, you will not be taught Angular JavaScript, but most of the companies they use JavaScript on the front end. Okay, JavaScript is kind of programming language. It is called JavaScript, right? But not Java. JavaScript is not similar as Java. Like apple is not same as pineapple. Both have apple name, right? Those are two different fruits, but they are very different, right? An apple is very different than a pineapple. So people mislead that I know Java, but I know then I must know JavaScript. No. So JavaScript is an easier language, like more likely you can, it's like HTML. And everybody should know HTML. Everybody knows HTML. Okay, so HTML, like there is a W3 school, W3 schools. Okay, so W3 school is a free website. You can learn so many basic things from here. If you know, but please go to W3 school, and then you can, in a week, you can learn like this HTML tutorials and JavaScript tutorials. So this will be your starting point. From here, you can learn this in a week yourself. Since now we have a object-oriented background. Then learn these two things, HTML tutorial and then JavaScript tutorials, basic. Then if you buy a Udemy course, then you can learn how to develop a complete web-based application. For your project, you can do that, or you can expand that for you in upcoming project. Okay, but in our next module, you will see that we will use JavaFX. For instance, so far the program we are discussing, we are using, it's called so you see that standalone program as GUI, like console, like Linux mode or DOS mode program. Okay, but all of the programs we see that applications are visual explanation, right? Graphical user interface. So in our next lecture, next time, we will see GUI programming, graphical user interface programming, using JavaScript and forms, but they are rarely used in company. In companies, these are rarely used. Most of the companies now use JavaScript, AngularJS. In AngularJS, you can include multiple tools. There are other supporting tools. TypeScript, other many things. So then you will see that you can. So now I think everybody has a good foundation. Okay. So and then just if whatever, so far we have 8 lectures, right? So these 8 to 10 lectures, if you capture these 8 to 10 lectures, you will have a good foundation in object-oriented programming, and you should see that your confidence will be changed. And if you know this, then you see that next time you will crack an internship interview. Okay, good luck for everybody. Has anyone any question? Oh, sorry, I'm a few minutes past. Has anyone any question? Okay, thank you so much, and everybody have a good weekend. One more thing, okay, so not this Tuesday. This Tuesday will be face-to-face class. After this Tuesday, next Tuesday we will have our online class only. Okay, and this Tuesday this Tuesday and next Tuesday we will start at 7:40, 6:40. Okay, I will start 10 minutes late. So 6:30 is regular class. We will start at 6:40. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. Have a good night.